Welcome back. In just the last 48 hours, we've seen some absolutely massive technological shifts. Today's explainer is taking us on a fascinating journey, literally from the absolute frontiers of space, all the way down to the firewalls on the phone sitting right there in your pocket. Let's get right into it. We're breaking today's briefing into 4 quick parts. SpaceX revolutionizing space, AI agents entering the workplace, a massive AI legal battle, and some urgent zero-day cyber threats. Starting with Section 1, SpaceX revolutionizes space by breaking the reusability barrier. Just yesterday at the Kennedy Space Center, an incredible milestone went down. To really get why this matters, you've got to look at the numbers. Think about this. Before SpaceX, rockets essentially just fell into the ocean after a single use. Gone. Those disposable rockets pushed SpaceX's to over $400 million for just one launch. But thanks to their reusable vertical landing tech, SpaceX initially chopped that down to $60 million, and now that cost has literally plummeted to under $20 million per launch. That is a massive 85% cost reduction. Crazy, right? And the acceleration here is just wild. Back in 2015, we saw their very first successful landing. Fast forward to 2021, they hit a 10-flight record. But yesterday, booster B-1058 successfully completed its 35th flight. 35. It delivered 23 second-generation Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit and then came right back home. And SpaceX, they're already planning to push this to 50, maybe even 100 flights per booster. Look, this isn't just some cool engineering flex. It fundamentally rewrites the economics of space. Gwen Shotwell, an analyst at Quilty Analytics, hit the nail on the head. She said what SpaceX is doing is a real revolution in space access, noting this is no longer just a rocket, but a reusable transportation system. This puts immense, and I mean immense, pressure on legacy competitors like Blue Origin, ULA, and the European Space Agency. They are officially scrambling to catch up. More importantly, though, it opens up the cosmos to private startups, not just massive government agencies. However, scaling up this fast brings some completely new headaches. SpaceX just asked the FCC for approval to launch 100,000 of their heavier 2-ton Starlink satellites. Now, while this could bring high-speed internet to literally every remote corner of the globe, astrophysicists are sounding a massive alarm. They're warning that a constellation this huge could basically create a light cage around our planet, permanently messing up ground-based observatories and altering our night sky forever. So, we're seeing hardware scaling rapidly in the sky. But what about software scaling down here in the office? This brings up a massive question for the global workforce. As automation hits warp speed, are our jobs at risk? That brings us to Section 2, AI agents enter the workplace. Meet ChatGPT Work. Just this Tuesday, OpenAI dropped a press release launching ChatGPT Work. This is a fully autonomous agent powered by their brand new GPT 5.5 enterprise language model. And the contrast in functionality here is pretty stark. While the $20 a month ChatGPT Plus is basically an interactive chatbot that sits there and waits for you to give it a prompt, ChatGPT Work is an entirely different beast. At $60 a month, it is an autonomous agent, it has long-term memory, which means it actually learns from your past decisions, and it integrates directly into your daily workflow, stuff like Slack, Teams, and Salesforce. It can execute complex projects, like running an entire marketing campaign completely on its own, no prompting required. The implications of this are pretty staggering. OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman noted that by 2028, most administrative work will be automated. And by 2030, 30% of admin jobs are going to be fundamentally changed. But hey, it's not strictly about job loss, right? It's really about evolution. Your role at work is probably going to shift. Instead of being the one executing all those repetitive, mundane tasks, you'll be acting more like a strategic manager, supervising a whole fleet of these AI agents. But of course, moving fast breaks things. Section 3, the AI legal battle, Apple versus OpenAI. This rapid AI expansion definitely hasn't happened in a vacuum. It has triggered some intense corporate friction, and this specific conflict has been steadily boiling over. It started when Apple began developing Apple Intelligence back in 2023. By 2024, reports of industrial espionage started bubbling up. That led to Apple claiming in 2025 that OpenAI was improperly using iPhone data. And now, as of July 2026, Apple has officially filed a massive lawsuit in a California federal court. They're alleging the unauthorized use of proprietary iPhone, iPad, and Mac data along with Siri and Core ML tech to train ChatGPT. Now, looking strictly at the facts of the dispute, OpenAI completely denies these allegations. They state they only use legal public data. Microsoft, being OpenAI's main shareholder, has firmly defended them. Their chief legal officer, Brad Smith, called Apple's allegations baseless and political, framing it as an attempt to monopolize the AI market. We're not taking sides here, but the stakes are undeniably massive. The court's ultimate decision could either cost OpenAI billions in damages, or it could set a legal precedent that completely clears the path for unrestricted future AI development. It's a huge deal. Which leads us to our final topic, Section 4, Zero-Day Cyber Threats, and the immediate risks to your data. Let's zoom all the way in from those giant macroeconomic legal battles to the immediate micro-level cybersecurity risks targeting the literal devices you use every single day. First, a quick refresher. A passkey is designed as a modern, passwordless authentication method. Instead of typing out a password, it uses cryptographic keys paired with biometrics, like your Face ID or fingerprint. Theoretically, because that private key never actually leaves your device, it should be highly secure. Unfortunately, theory doesn't always match reality. Security researchers at Mandiant just exposed a pretty wild flaw in Microsoft Entra's FIDO2 protocol implementation. By using a man-in-the-middle attack with fake servers and simple phishing pages, researchers were able to trick users into handing over their passkeys in just 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Microsoft says this structural issue is patched in their July 2026 update, but it really proves that even our absolute best new defenses have cracks in the armor. But there's an even more urgent threat making headlines today, and it involves a zero-day. For those who might not know, a zero-day is a critical software vulnerability that the manufacturer has had literally 0 days to fix, simply because they had absolutely no idea it existed until the attack actually happened. Well, researchers just discovered a terrifying zero-day vulnerability in WhatsApp, dubbed OpenClaw. And OpenClaw is what's known as a zero-click exploit. This is scary stuff. An attacker simply sends a malicious message, and without you even clicking a single thing, literally as soon as the notification pops up on your screen, the code executes. Boom. They instantly gain full access to your phone's operating system, your banking data, your emails, and yes, even your microphone and camera. So the absolute most crucial point here is how you protect yourself right this second, because over 2 billion users are potentially at risk. The good news? Meta has quickly released a patch. So here's your action plan. Step 1, immediately update your WhatsApp to the newest version right now. Then make sure you've got two-factor authentication enabled. Avoid opening any suspicious or unknown messages, and please, back up your important data regularly. You really need to lock down your personal life. So, looking back at our agenda today, SpaceX's reusable rockets, AI agents taking over office work, massive AI legal battles, and zero-day cyber threats. When you connect the dots, it is crystal clear that technology is advancing at lightning speed across literally every single frontier. It absolutely demands that we stay both incredibly informed and highly proactive. I want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. As AI agents automate our daily tasks and reusable rockets redefine our reach into the stars, are we building a future that empowers us, or one that outpaces our ability to control it? Are you simply a passive user of these innovations, or are you actively adapting, learning, and reinventing yourself to ensure you remain empowered in a world that is changing faster than ever before? Thanks for joining me for today's explainer, and as always, stay curious.